What if I told you having a boring ass meal plan was the key to reversing your prediabetes? Well, that's what I'm telling you. I'm Kara, I'm a registered dietitian, and today I am going to walk through 3 different methods of meal planning or meal prepping that can help you reverse your prediabetes. Everything from full, ready to eat meals to mix and match components, and a third method that is new to me. That's kind of a Tetris style way to fill your freezer and always have something different to eat. Plus, if cooking isn't your thing, I have plenty of tips for you at the end of the video. Let's get into it. Welcome to week 3, day 2 of the 4-week prediabetes playbook series. In this video, we're going to talk specifically about why having a boring meal plan is often really useful for folks who are busy and still trying to eat what they like and reverse their prediabetes. If you've been here before, you already know that I don't cook, but I do like having healthy food on hand when I get hungry, and that is what meal prepping allows me to do. It takes the decision-making, the time, and the effort out of eating healthy blood sugar balancing meals. Now, not everyone's brain or stomach works the same way when it comes to meal prep. Some people are totally fine with having the exact same thing for lunch, the exact same thing for dinner every day of the week. For some people, that sounds like prison or really gives them the ick, and they just want or need more variety in the meals that they eat. Some people want maximum flexibility, or they want to spend one day batch cooking for an entire month instead of for a couple of days or a week. So today I'm giving you 3 different methods that meet all of these different needs, and you're going to pick the one where you say, yeah, that sounds like it would work for me. Stick with me here because by the end of this video, you will at least have a framework, if not solid ideas, for what you're gonna prep next week. All right, method number 1, full ready to eat meals. I think this is what most people picture when they think of meal prep. And this is what I do for breakfast and lunch every week. I don't mind eating the same thing for 5 or 6 days in a row and then making something different, although, spoiler, not that different, for the next week. You're making complete meals, portioning them into containers, and boom, grab and go all week. This method works best if you're someone who really leans in to boring, like I do. This is, I think, the most boring ass of the boring ass meal plans. I have 2 default breakfasts and about 5 default lunches. For breakfast, if it's cold, I make frittatas. If it's hot, I make smoothie bowls. For lunches, I have mix and match meals that are my go-tos. I typically then am not eating the same thing more than once in a month, but I eat the same things all the time. I talk through those a little bit more in depth in my Project Pantry series, so I will link that at the end. I won't spend time on it here. But my tip here is find meals that fit the prediabetes plate method and you actually enjoy. They don't have to be things that someone else would put together. They don't have to only be scratch-made foods. Find things that if you make them frequently and you're going to eat them for several days in a row, that's actually going to be appealing to you on day 4, day 5 of the week. Make a big enough batch or buy enough servings to combine for 5 to 6 days, and you're done. Make this work both on a time and a financial level. I tend to mix and match convenience items with scratch-made items. But portion everything out, seal those containers, and you are good to go for the week. Now, if you're not going to eat them this week, you should put them in the freezer because they will go bad. All right, method number 2 is the mix and match components method, or as I affectionately call it, the Granimals method. If you are a millennial like me, you will understand. Granimals was how we put little coordinating outfits together as kids. Instead of making complete self-contained meals, you are making a couple of different options for each piece of the prediabetes plate method, so you can mix and match throughout the week for more variety. This method is really nice if you're cooking for people who have different preferences or they need different portion sizes. It gives you a lot more customization and flexibility, even like within your household. So here's how this method could work. You could have 3 proteins, 4 different options for color, fruits and veggies, and maybe 3 grain. With that alone, you have like 36 different combinations of meals that you could theoretically put together if everything mixes and matches well. And to be the most time effective and create, I think, the least amount of dishes, I would recommend choosing different preparation methods for your different items. So what I mean by that is maybe you are baking a sheet of chicken thighs and you're also roasting a pan of veggies because you can use the same temperature for those things. And while those are in the oven, you maybe have some ground turkey on the stovetop, and your other protein for the week is like a rotisserie chicken or canned tuna. So you've got a couple things in the oven that are hands off. You've got maybe something easy on the stovetop, and then you've got a couple of things that you don't have to do anything at all. They're just ready to go. So you aren't left with a million dishes in the sink, and you're not waiting for one recipe to be done until you can start the next one. Now, make sure you're getting enough that you can have your portion sizes still meet the prediabetes plate method, no matter how you put them together. But again, like 36 different options for that week, just from 3 proteins, 4 color, and 3 grains. Okay, method number 3, and I think this one is genius. I learned about it on TikTok from the creator Simply Sarah Hart. If you're not following her already, go check her out. She uses super cubes, which are these like silicone ice cube molds, to create frozen modular Tetris kind of meals. Sarah does the batch cook like method number 2 of these different components, but then she freezes the smaller portion sizes all together in one cube so that it is a complete meal when she pulls it out of the freezer. So she's kind of getting the best of both worlds here. And she stocks her freezer so she could pull out kind of a different meal every night of the week, which again gives the variety of method 2, but the complete meal factor of method 1. This method I think is perfect if you are cooking for one, or if you maybe have like one day a month where you can do a marathon meal prep session, but you don't want to do it every week. Or if you're really wanting to stretch that cost per meal budget, you can buy in bulk and really fill your freezer with a ton of different options. Sarah has a ton of recipes and she's perfected the reheating method. So when you pull it out of the freezer to go eat it, it actually tastes good. I'm not going to reinvent the wheel and try and give you recipes for the super cubes, but I will link to my free Costco ebook down in the description of this video if you are wanting to buy in bulk and you want to know I, a dietitian, would recommend getting from Costco. Now, if you've heard all 3 meal prep methods and you're still like, this is not for me, you might want to have a meal delivery service. And I don't necessarily mean like the boxes that come and you still cook for yourself, although maybe. But what's worked for me in the past is the actual meal delivery. It comes frozen or it comes refrigerated and you just heat it up when you're ready to eat it. I've done Factor and I've done Cook Unity. Both services have meals that I think are better or worse for prediabetes management, but they're great because you can filter for what you need. And again, if you have people in your household that maybe don't need the same thing as you can get what everybody wants or needs delivered right to your house. Now, it's going to be more expensive, but it can work if that's what's going to be what keeps you consistent. It's definitely not more expensive than meal prepping a bunch of meals that you just end up throwing away because you don't like them. This video is not sponsored by either of those services, but I will drop a discount link in the description where you'll get a little bit of money off your first couple of boxes. Now, there is a place in the prediabetes playbook where you can actually start to develop your own boring ass meal plan. You don't have to use mine, and I wouldn't recommend that you use mine. You should make your own and come up with your go-to meals that you actually are going to enjoy and are going to be the best option for you when you're really busy or you just don't have any motivation to make something more interesting. And it's going to help you be consistent and stay on track when it gets tough. My prediabetes plate method meal suggestions or meal plan are also in that prediabetes playbook if you need a place to start or you need some ideas. So if you haven't downloaded the PDF, head to my website, get that. There's a ton of tools that will help you now and in the future. To recap, 3 different methods. The goal of this is to make eating healthy, blood sugar balancing meals easy, even when your motivation wanes and life gets in the way, or you're injured or you're sick. You already have those healthy meals taken care of. Those are all the tips for meal planning and meal prepping. Later this week, I'm going to talk about progressive overload, or why your strength training routine should also be boring, and how to make your sleep and stress management habits sustainable. This whole week is about why boring is good, but it doesn't mean stagnant. Boring routines still progress, they just build instead of starting over from zero week after week. Let me know in the comments which of these methods you are going to try, and if you have any favorite meal prep recipes. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you have some ideas of what and how to prep for the upcoming week or month, and let's continue to build those healthy habits. I'll see you in the next one.